Two important bills that seek to replace ordinances to keep state boards out of the ambit of national eligibility cum entrance test for this academic year will be introduced in Lok Sabha today. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Anand Kumar said that passing these two bills will be the government's top priority. On first day of the monsoon session of Parliament yesterday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said all parties should work together to see to it that constructive discussions take place in monsoon session. He also expressed hope that the session will observe high standards of discussions and important decisions will be made during the session. Wrapping up a discussion in Rajya Sabha on the situation in Kashmir, Home Minister Rajnath Singh said, whatever is happening in Kashmir is Pakistan-sponsored. Singh questioned Pakistan's interference in India's internal affairs, saying it has no right to rake up the death of a terrorist. He said 15 serious cases were registered against the killed terrorist who was radicalizing techno-savvy youths of Kashmir. Water Resources Minister Bharati said government is working to bring a law with stringent provisions against the river polluters. Replying to supplementaries in Rajya Sabha, Bharati said the government is proposing to bring the law in consultation with states to act against polluting industries. She added that industrial and sewage waste discharged into river Ganga, not the religious material, is the primary source of its pollution. 10 CRPF commandos belonging to Cobra Battalion have been martyred in an IED blast carried out by Naxals in Bihar's Aurangabad district. 4 Naxals were also killed in a subsequent encounter between Naxals and security forces. Arms and ammunition have been recovered from the site. Encounter is still going on. In Karnataka, Bengaluru Development Minister KJ George has resigned after an allegation of harassment made by Mangaluru DSP MK Ganapati, who committed suicide in Coorg recently. The announcement came after Principal Judicial Magistrate Court directed the police to file FIR against the minister and 2 senior police officers. The National Investigation Agency has filed a charge sheet against 6 suspected Islamic State terror operatives. The NIA in the charge sheet said that after being motivated by the ideology of ISIS, the accused conspired to carry out terror attacks. The accused were arrested from Roorkee and Mumbai by the special cell. The court fixed further hearing in the matter for August 25th. Legendary singer Mubarak Begum took her last breath yesterday at her residence in suburban Jogeshwari after a prolonged illness. 80-year-old Mubarak Begum had been unwell for quite some time. Her last rites will take place today. A teenage Afghan refugee armed with an axe and knife injured 4 people on a train in southern Germany before being shot dead by police. 3 people were seriously hurt and 1 suffered minor injuries in the attack in Würzburg. The motive for the attack is not yet clear. An official was quoted as saying that it was a probable Islamist attack. North Korea has fired 3 ballistic missiles toward the Sea of Japan. According to South Korean military, the missiles flew some 500 kilometers and 600 kilometers with a range enough to reach all of South Korea. It comes after US and South Korea said they would deploy an anti-missile system to counter the threats. Tensions have soared since Pyongyang carried out its 4th nuclear test in January, followed by a series of missile launches. Anti-Trump delegates have failed in their final push to block Donald Trump's nomination at the party's convention in Cleveland. A vote that would allow delegates to back a candidate of their choice was quashed when 3 states reportedly backed out. The push was the last gasp for those who hope to see a different Republican candidate get the nomination. The nomination of Trump has been a source of conflict in the party. Suicide bombings killed 11 people and wounded 18 others yesterday at 2 army checkpoints in Al-Qaeda's former stronghold in southeastern Yemen. Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula has claimed responsibility for the 2 attacks. China has said it is closing off a part of South China Sea for military exercises, days after an international tribunal ruled against Beijing's claim to ownership of virtually the entire strategic waterway. An area of the east coast of China's island province of Hainan will host military exercises from today to Thursday. Supreme Court has accepted major recommendations of Lodha Committee on reforms in BCCI, including a bar on ministers and civil servants and those above 70 years from becoming its members, but the court has left it to Parliament to decide whether it should come under RTI and whether betting should be legalized. The Apex Court also accepted the recommendations of the committee to have a CAG nominee in BCCI. China will send 416 athletes to Rio de Janeiro next month, its largest overseas delegation in Olympic history, continuing its pursuit of medals that saw it take second spot in the table behind the United States 4 years ago. The country will send 256 women and 160 men to compete in 26 sports events.